Folks, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project on a Wednesday morning. Couldn't ask for a more, beautiful morning here in Boscobel, Wisconsin. There's a little bit of clouds in the sky, but there is a whole lot of blue sky and sunshine. And amazing how that works. Prayers going out today and thoughts to the Mankato area. I've been around that area before. I bowled there in college, bowled against a few people there. Just a great place, but my prayers are with them as they are dealing with major floodwaters. And, I know I've seen the posts of, well, if the dam fails, it's not as detrimental as this or this. It is detrimental. It's whether it's history or whatever it may be, it's another monument that if it goes away is gone. It is gone for good. And that's where I see where we're taking down all of these statues, and I get the concept of people and their feelings towards these, and I understand what some of the symbolism is, that why they are being taken down to it. What I don't understand is, why are we not using it as a learning concept? Instead, we're just tearing everything down to tear it down, or to move it, to try to erase it. There is one thing we cannot do, and that is erase history, unfortunately, for some things. As far as slavery goes, as far as all that goes, it is history. We cannot take it away. It happened. It is written down. It is a proven fact. But we need to learn from that. We need to move on from that. Kind of like things in life in general. There are many bad things that have happened to us all. And hence why today's Moose Minute Project is labeled, Are You Ready for a Rough Ride? Every child born from here on out, and even before, no person in the United States should expect it to be a smooth ride. It's just not going to happen. Life in general is not going to have a total smooth ride for over and over. Take a look at the roads around us. We travel dirt roads daily. We travel major highways that are rougher than, as my grandpa used to say and my dad says, rougher than a cob. Those kind of rides we have to get used to. And we can complain about them all we want, but the rough rides are going to happen. So taking down all of this history and trying to rewrite history and not teach about it is a mistake, because I think it's going to come the way the world is designed and the way things are. If you eliminate history, people don't learn from that. Kids aren't learning in school what they need to learn. There's no home ec. There's no, life. I remember taking an economics class where we learned checkbooks. We learned all of that. We learned, I know they have one day where you roll the dice and you're either born rich or poor, and you have one kid or 6 kids or whatever it may be. But we need more real life training. We need more counseling portions of what should be expected. If you're at home handing everything to your kids and not making them work for it, what's going to happen when you're gone? What's going to happen when somebody else walks into their lives and you haven't already coached them on what to expect or how to be treated? Those kind of things all need to happen. And I've seen so many people struggle through life, and I just want to help people personally with this thing of keep going. Don't tear down you can rewrite your history. Your past is your past. what you did in your past, whether you were mean to others or rude to others or you were a standout student, whatever it may be. That is your past that has made the base for who you are today. How did you treat others? How is your work ethic? You know, the good Lord is going to give you things that, you know, if I look back and I guess I look at my personal things I've gone through, because as far as I think a lot of people that sit there going, well, these people don't know what I'm going through. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pout and I'm going to throw a tantrum and life's been terrible. The things I've gone through, some of it has been very bad, but it is not nearly as bad as some other people have had it. So I can sit here and say, well, life is throwing all these things at me, so I shouldn't have to try hard. I should just be given easy street from here on out. Life doesn't work that way, nor is it going to. And I want to be tested. I want to have more drive for tomorrow. And I want to make today better. So how do I do that? The Moose Minute Project makes me a better day. By just getting my thoughts out there, and hopefully somebody says, Chris, you know what? You're right. Life's not that bad. I'm going to move on, or I'm going to start this thing. You know, I hope people, and a lot of people aren't comfortable talking on whether it's this or, you know, so maybe you're a blogger, or maybe you can start a group or a support group where a whole bunch of people get together to go through I belong to a stroke support group because I survived that 7 years ago in July. So coming up July 23rd will be 7 years ago. I lost my left side. And it's all back. Thanks to great doctors, thanks to great rehab facility. But that was a big hurdle to get over. You know, maybe it's a group you want to get together and start of, you know, single mothers that need advice, or, you know, single fathers that are raising kids. You know, there is both sides of that shoe. We're heading into a uncharted territory as far as I feel, with the government, with political, you know, like I said before when I started this, tearing down monuments, tearing down this and getting rid of these and getting rid of that. It is all part of history, and it is all what's made the United States the nation we live in and the great nation we live in. Unfortunately, right now, the way I look at it is the United States as a power nation is being laughed at by way too many other nations. And they are like, oh God, I'm glad we aren't them. And I have to somewhat be humiliated that that's how it's looked at. We have so many men and women fighting for us every day to make us this great free nation. And we have older, extremely rich people trying to run a country that the middle class group, where I feel I fall into, and below, so the poor to middle class, is being forgotten about. You have to have exponential numbers in your bank account in order to be an influencer anymore. And being bombarded every day in the news, social media, just out and about hearing about it when people are talking about it, it is 24/7 of where things are headed. So to get your mindset clear, find a good way to do that. Do you like to bake? Hey, do that. Do you like to knit, crochet, quilt, whatever it may be? My mom used to love to do that. Unfortunately, as most of you know, she's unable to. I miss the gifts, and I used to laugh in school because There was many days I wore all the clothes that she made us because that's what had to be done at the time. And so I've come from so many different extreme points. Been helped by many, many people to get to where I am today. Coached by many, mentored by many. Had a lot of bosses that were great bosses. Had a lot of bosses that were junk bosses. So I come from different viewpoints. And if you've been through a rough life, my apologies to you for having to go through that. But find a new goal of peace, of tranquility, and a sunshine every day, of where you can find a glimpse of greatness or power, or however you want to label it, that makes your day good. You know, there's no better way to look for me than now that I've got 3 grandkids. You know, being called a grandpa, I used to think, well, that means I'm old. I'm not old. I'm not old at all. I'm 50, but that's not old to me. I feel better today than I did in a long ago. Had an appointment yesterday, and, you know, going through my history of what has happened to me, a lot of people are like, holy crap, Chris, that's a lot of things to go on. And it is, but it makes me enjoy every day that I get to tie my shoes. Because there's a point in time where I couldn't tie my shoes. So if you're able to do all that, and you're able to have all your moving members are just able to move on to the next day. I work with a young gentleman here that's a wheelchair-bound individual, shows up every day, busts his butt every day. And you know what? He enjoys life. And that's the key factor for all of us, is we need to enjoy life. And we need to have better days than worse days. And sitting in a chair complaining about, oh, poor me, isn't going to get it done. It's just not. And so whether you have a college education or just a high school education, it doesn't matter. And don't say just a high school education. It's a high school education. So you graduated from school. Move on, find a job that you want to do, and make life better. Take a small trip. If you've been dreaming of a trip right now, figure out and make it a goal. Give it a date when it's going to happen, and take that. And make sure you set that goal crystal clear of how you're going to get there to take that trip. To whether it's, you know, it could be a couple hundred miles away, it could be 1,000 miles away. But take those few days and figure out what you need to do to make life better. There were many, many times when I was growing up that life sucked. There is no doubt about it. I didn't quite know how to continue on. Being let go at a certain job or whatever it may be, or when I went through the divorce or whatever, there were many days that I was not sure how I was going to continue because I felt so crappy. But the good Lord has a plan for me, and I'm not sure what that is, but I'm going to wake up every day, and I'm going to, at some point I'm not, that's the issue. There is going to be a day that it is my last day, and who knows when that is? I have no idea. Could be tomorrow. Could be 50 years from now. I hope so. I hope there's many more. I appreciate everybody that takes time to listen to this project. But right now, let's focus on where we are headed. Teach our kids about the history. Teach our kids about our family history of where we came from. What's it about? Who was the grandparents? I never got to meet one of my grandfathers. But everybody has told me that he was one hell of a man. And he was in Richland Center. He adopted my mom. Everything I knew about him and heard about him is a phenomenal thing. And that's what I want people to hear about me after I'm here and gone, is what a good things. And it's not about the ego. It's about making people's lives better. He took toys to the Mauston at the time, had a orphanage. That's where my mom was with her kids, or her family and siblings. There were quite a few of them turned over to the orphanage. So he took toys there. I'm golfing in a tournament this weekend. Again, a blessing that I can golf because of where I was. But we are golfing in a tournament this weekend. It's the Triple H. It's Hannon's Helping Hands. It's raising money for toys for ill children in hospitals for Christmas time. So those kind of things are the big things. What can we do to bless somebody else, to make somebody else's day better? And that's the point of the Moose Minute Project, is how can we make people's lives better? If you can bless somebody, whether it's financially or, a gift certificate or whatever it may be, if you know a struggling family and you have extra clothes or whatever it is, or can you give them to a shelter or wherever you may go to make somebody that is struggling life better, take your chance to do it. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm going to golf with 3 of my good friends, and we're going to have a good time and help raise money for this program. That's the kind of things that we love to do too. It's a lot of fun, and it's a sport that I love to do. I think anytime you can do that is an awesome opportunity. So thanks for tuning into the Moose Minute Project today on this Hump Day Wednesday. Sun is out here in southern Wisconsin. I am headed into work. But if you can bless somebody, like I always end this commentary on, take the time to do it. Whether it's with just a hi, have a great day, however you mean to see it, would be phenomenal. So have a great day, folks. We will talk tomorrow morning for the Moose Minute Project. Again, if you would go to YouTube, that's where all my videos are from all the past Moose Minute projects. You can check that out too. And on my Facebook page, there was a post about the link to that YouTube page. So you can look on there and see all my past one as well. So if you are ready for a rough ride, your steps ahead. If you're not ready, prepare yourself. No matter what age you are now, you still are going to have hurdles. You're still going to have hiccups. There's going to be a rough ride. But make your ride better and make it a positive day. And start your day with a warm cup of coffee and a deep breath, or as I do, an energy drink and a deep breath. And hit the day running. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day.